Hello, cheapskaters. I'm Kath Armstrong, creator of the Cheapskates Club, where our goal is to live life debt-free, cashed up, and laughing. If this is your first time visiting our channel, welcome. And if it's not, welcome back. I am live on Tuesday, the 28th of June, 2022, and it is 7:30 p.m. Oh, goodness, folks, I had no idea what I was going to chat with you about tonight. I made the thumbnail a few days ago over the weekend, and I am so glad that I did, because I think my busy has just caught up with me. I am so tired. It's a good tired. It's a good tired. It's not an achy, horrible, I'm sick tired, but oh boy, am I zonked. Now, my days fill up really quickly. I'm sure yours do too. And I was sort of hoping that, by this stage of my life, grown up kids, no debt, getting slightly older, I'd be taking more time off, not working longer and longer and longer. Now, I'm not complaining, it's all good, really. But some things do need to change. If you know me or you've known me for any length of time, you'll know I don't like change. I don't like change just because. I don't like change for no reason. Change for a reason is just fine. But oh boy, change just because? No, I don't see the point. It's like that old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But anyway, things around here need to change. Mainly because this channel is taking over my life. It is it's all encompassing. It's just almost overwhelming. So I need to make some changes to the way I work, just so that I can keep up with what has to be done, what I want to do, any emergencies that crop up. I need to make some changes. So I guess these are changes for a reason. Now, again, you might not realize, but I do a weekly newsletter. And that's quite lengthy, and it takes a few hours to put it together before it's sent. Almost a whole day if I'm not interrupted. If I am, well, it can take a week to get one newsletter done. Then I send Cheapskates Club members a daily tip with some links to other articles and stories that they may enjoy. That goes out Monday through Friday every week without fail. And they take time to put together too, because there's a lot of those. I have to research them, I have to format them, I have to upload them, then I have to send them. Then, there's the emails and the questions that I get that I answer, because I really do try to answer your questions. And some take longer than others, but then that's more time out of my day. And you may have noticed on our Contact Us form that I have set office hours. Now, I have those set office hours so that if you contact me outside of those hours, you don't get upset if I don't answer your Contact Us request straight away. I try to do those during those hours, just so that you know when to expect an answer. I know when I can devote some time to doing it. Then, of course, there's the family. We all know that family takes the most time, and that's okay, because it's family. Family first, always family first. So I'll be making some changes about how I do things around here. And I will be, can't believe I'm saying this, I will be doing a video on how I'm making those changes, how they're going to fit into the 24 hours I have each day. Some of them you're already seeing in the more frequent, shorter videos. On that note, if there's anything you particularly want to see, put it in the description box. Put it in the description box below me. If you put it in the live chat, I might not see it. So the description box below me. And yes, I know that you want gardening videos, so I'll see what I can do. But remember, technology and me, we don't get on. Technology doesn't like me, and I'm pretty sure there's a bit of it that I don't like. So I'm still learning, even after 3 years, because can you believe over 3 years I've been doing this? I am still learning. I'm learning and learning. So bear with me, folks. I probably said that 3.5 years ago. I'm saying it again. Bear with me. Give me some time. Other things, other changes will be on the website. And, you know, it's still going to stay with the members. But I want more. I want to put more value into that for you, because I have a whole lot of stuff that I just haven't had time to deal with yet. I've got articles that need to be proofed and then they can be uploaded. I've got tip sheets that need to be proofed and then they can be uploaded. So I'm hoping that I can outsource that without it costing too much, because if it costs too much, it won't be happening. And get all that up for you, because the world is changing. Our world is changing. Our own little, bubble that we live in changes. Then our community changes. Our country's changing. Everything's changing. So there's a lot of new ideas, a lot of new ways of doing things that I want to share with you. So I'm making changes, lots and lots of changes. That's the first thing I wanted to tell you this week. I hope that they will work for you, that they'll be of benefit for you. I hope they'll be of benefit for me. Okay, gosh, I've got, 31 comments. Okay, guys, give me a moment, because I don't actually have a particular topic to talk about tonight. I want to talk about the changes. I want to talk about a video I uploaded yesterday. I want to talk about what's coming for this week. I want to tell you about what's going on around here, because I think I'm finally going to get the kitchen finished. Finally. 18 months I've been waiting to get that kitchen finished. We've come up with a solution. So, hey, works for me. It's just up to everyone else to make it work for me. Make it work for them so it works for me. I think by now I've waited long enough. So there's all sorts of things I want to chat about. Now, let's see. I'll do some hellos to Yvonne, Truth is One, Julie, Aradia, Michelle, Wild Woman, Beverly, Lisa. Hello, Joy. Hope you're feeling better. Joy hasn't been well. Amy, Maureen, Lynette, Bobstar, Mrs. Dilligaff, Sylvia, Krista, Kerry. I hope your husband's he's home. Well done. Well done, husband. Really glad to hear. Leonie, Gail, Sheena, Selena, Outback 6, Evelyn, Mary. Gosh, we've got a lot of people here tonight. Lisa, Karen, Delaney, still in hospital. Oh, I hope you're on the mend and all is going well. Kathy. Lost my place again. Barb. Jane. All right. Suzanne. Make sure you do. I'm talking to Joy here. Make sure you do rest up. Joy is an absolute, I don't know how she does it. She goes non-stop. Okay, so there you go. First off, I'm tired and I'm making some changes. I'm making changes on the home front too. We're going to have a bit of a family discussion about what needs to be done and who's going to do it. Because while we do all pretty pretty much share the load. Some of the load could be shared a bit wider, I'm pretty sure. And I think that's probably, most families have that occasionally. Now, what else was there? My kitchen. You may have, in some of the videos, you may have noticed there's one strip along the long wall of brick missing. Because the house is so old, we can still buy those bricks if they are available. Now, the company that actually makes them is in Sydney, and they've been really, really helpful. They've gone over and above to try and help me with them because I only need 16. It's not like I need a lot. I only need 16. So what they have said to me was I could order them, but I'd have to pay for the special run. Well, I don't want to pay thousands of dollars or even hundreds of dollars for 16 bricks. So they did come back to me and say, but next time they do a run, they will just send me 16, and they're just going to send them to me. They didn't want me to pay for them or anything. They would just take 16 off that run and send them to me. And I think that is amazing. I think that is wonderful. But then we had a pandemic and lockdowns and shortages, and the housing went nuts and whatever. And while the brick splashbacks and things are coming back into vogue, they haven't yet had a reason to do another run of that particular tile, which is why it has never been finished. That's the last thing I need to get done in the kitchen, and then it's finished completely. So I had a thought. We've been trying to look for solutions and find them, and to redo the whole thing in something different, I think will look weird and cost a lot of money, and I don't want to spend a lot of money, and it won't look right to me. It might look fine to everyone else, but I won't like it. So I've been looking and looking and looking, and what I've decided to do is put a pressed metal splashback just behind the cooktop, and then we can take those bricks off and reuse them to run along and fill in the gaps. So that's where we're at. The issue with that is they come in 1.8 meter lengths and I only need 900, but you know what? I can find a use for the extra, I'm pretty sure. So that's where I think we'll be heading to get the kitchen finished. And if it ever happens, I will be so excited. You will hear me cheering and doing a happy dance. Sorry, I just saw a question. Doing a happy dance. Selena, where are you, darling? Here we go. Can your cupcake recipe that you shared on the video the other day, so it was one bowl cake. That was all just the plain one bowl cake. I don't know. I have not tried it with gluten-free flour. None of us are gluten-free, so I do not know anything about gluten-free cooking or gluten-free baking. It is not something I have ever done. It's not something I've ever tried. I imagine if you use a good quality gluten-free flour and if it's plain flour, you'll need to add baking powder to it. And I do buy gluten-free baking powder from the health food shop. That's the baking powder I buy. I don't deliberately buy gluten-free. That's just the one I get. It should be all right, but I think like with most things gluten-free, it depends on the quality of your flour. If your flour isn't terribly expensive, give it a try. Just do one recipe. You don't need to double it. Just do one recipe or even halve it and see how it turns out. Do it in cupcakes and see how it turns out. But that's the best advice I can offer you, because I honestly don't know. My sister-in-law is gluten-free, but I don't bake for her. So And I'm not sure that she actually does a lot of baking for herself either anymore. Yeah, so not much help, but that's the best I can do. Alrighty, who's late? Yvonne. Not too late. All right. In my imagination, it sounds like a good. In my imagination, the picture I have in my mind, it's beautiful. Hopefully, it will translate translate like that. But then, I was talking about it with Wayne, and I said, it's our kitchen. It has to suit us. We are the only ones that really need to like it. So we'll see how we go. Nobody else really has to like it. It's just us. We live here. We're the ones that have to like it. So in my mind, it looks stunning, but who knows? Karen, I wish I could share the load. I'm hubby's carer. It's a full-time job and it's hard work. I know when I was looking after my mother, it got to the point where I couldn't look after her anymore. But it's hard work and it's a 24/7 job. So I hope that you take advantage of as much help as you can possibly get. And I hope your family doctor should be looking into this for you and doing as much as he can for you. Janine, I subscribe to the newsletter and I don't receive it. Why? Well, you either didn't confirm your subscription or it's been sent and bounced back, in which case you won't get it. So try resubscribing and make sure that you then confirm your subscription, because if you don't do that, I can't send it to you. The other thing is that if you subscribed and then unsubscribed, I can't send it to you. But that will be the only reason that you don't receive it. Two things. You either haven't confirmed your subscription or it's bounced back. Now, bounce backs, I don't see. They are automatically removed from the database because the hard bounce backs are rejected by your email provider. And I can't control that. So you can try resubscribing, but make sure you confirm your subscription. Then Karen, I hope it's almost over for you. There's only 4 hours and 20 minutes left of today, and then we've got tomorrow, and it's a whole brand new day. I hope tomorrow is better for you. I really do. Being a carer is really hard work. Really, really hard work. It is. I found it really stressful, not because mum was hard to look after in terms of physical needs, because she wasn't, but the mental and the emotional strain is terrible. So just know, Karen, and anyone else out there who is carer for anyone, just know that I tried. I did the best I could. Sometimes, the best you can do is all you can do. Okay, now what's happening in the garden? Oh my goodness. We've had really odd rain. It's been very it's been very drizzly, not terribly heavy, not real heavy showers, really drizzly sort of light rain and constant. And then in between, we've had a couple of warmish days where it's actually got to 14 or 15, although Saturday was a beautiful day, it got to 19. And the turnips and the beetroots have gone crazy. The turnips are ready to be pulled. The beetroots are almost ready to be pulled. And we'll have roast beetroots, yum, yum. But they have just in the last 10 days or so, they have gone nuts. So I'm really really excited about that. The peas are climbing up their little trellis thing that I made for them, doing really well. The wind blew the covers off I had just little covers over the cabbages and cauliflower, just little cloth ones that I'd made. The wind blew those off, so I had to chase those down the yard and put them back on. But that everything seems to be doing really well. The little bit of weird rain and sunshine, we had a couple of frosty mornings, and thank goodness I still had the covers over them then, because the frost didn't harm them at all. So the garden is doing really well. I will take some photos and put over on Cheapskates Chatter for you, to show you what they're like. Now, if you're new and you don't know what Cheapskates Chatter is, that's our Facebook group, and there is a link underneath me in the description box. 2 questions to join Cheapskates Chatter. There are 2 questions that you must answer. If you don't answer them, your request won't be accepted. So just remember, 2 questions. Janine, I was hoping you'd give some good advice. Janine works as a nurse in a country hospital, so she has it sort of super hard for never feel guilty for taking some respite from the caring role, even when it is your partner. You burn out and things will go pear-shaped. She sees it all the time, and that's true. You know, when we're young mums, we're new mums, we have a little baby, they say to us, sleep when they sleep, you know, don't worry about the housework, you know, just keep them happy, keep them fed, clean. Dust bunnies don't matter. You know what? Now we're older and we're looking after partners, spouses, adult children, parents. Same thing applies. Don't worry about dust bunnies. Don't worry about making sure that the pillow slips are ironed. Not that I iron pillow slips, but you know what I mean. Focus on them, focus on you, and take care of both of you. Because like as Janine says, I used to say to my father-in-law when he was looking after my mother-in-law, obviously, I would say to him, you have to take care of yourself, because if something happens to you, who's going to take care of her? And it's not that we wouldn't have, because we would have, but you need to think like that. We all need to think like that in that situation. -1 overnight. Oh, do you know the coldest I have ever been? That's a bit frosty. Coldest, well, wasn't the coldest night I've ever slept through was -7, and we were up behind Mount Buffalo at a place called Beveridge Station, and beautiful spot. We go there often. It's absolutely lovely. We base camp there and we absolutely adore it. But it was -7. It was so cold. The olive oil was in the back of the car, and it was solid. Now, it wasn't, you know how when oil gets cold, it gets really thick and sort of solid. Well, this was solid like a brick. You could have given yourself a concussion with it. It was so cold. So that's the coldest I've been. -1 is frosty. Stay warm. Karen's hydroponics are working excellent. Was that the trug thing? Yeah. Did you show photos? Did you put photos of that up, Karen? I remember seeing. It was really exciting. Someone else got one too. Yvonne's carer, yeah. It's hard work. All right, still looking. Okay, all righty. Now, Joyce says she cooks and tidies, but cleaning comes a long way behind. She also works full time, leaves home very early in the morning, gets home rather late of an evening, and does a whole lot of other stuff too. So she doesn't just cook and tidy. Joy is a really busy lady. Yep, if we don't look after ourselves, we can't look after anyone else. Exactly. Alrighty. Now, Hannah was home for the weekend. It was unplanned. It was one of those spontaneous things because her car wouldn't start. So she rang on Saturday morning and said, my car won't start. I've called the RACV and he said it's a blah, 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 blah. And so he's going to send a tow truck for it. Okay, so she said, so can you come and get me and I'll come down and borrow the other car and then I'll go home. Okay, so I went up to her place to pick her up because it's just around the corner and spent some time up there with her and we fiddle-faddled around. Then we came home and I have to say, I just have to say that now that they've got the Monash almost finished all the way through to Cardinia Road out past Pakenham, it is just delightful to drive on it. It was lovely to not be squashed down and oh, it was lovely. Anyway, did that, came home. What did we do? Something happened. Can't remember. She went to visit a friend Saturday afternoon, came home, said she didn't feel well, went to bed, woke up Sunday, and she was really sick. She had really bad sinusitis, and we thought it was really bad sinusitis. She did a rat and she was fine. And then, so she decided she wouldn't go home Sunday. She'd stay till Monday, see how she was. She tried to get into the doctor and couldn't get a doctor's appointment. And then I woke up yesterday and I had it too. I was all croaky and all clagged up and had a thumping headache. So it was, we both sat on the lounge next to each other like, you know, Dumb and Dumber or something yesterday. We were just like zombies, didn't move at all. And then I went to bed last night about 8:30. She went home, finally went home yesterday afternoon about 1 o'clock. And I went to bed last night about 8:30. And I don't remember Wayne coming to bed, and I didn't wake up till 10 to 10 this morning. I have never slept that long. It's just like, and I woke up and I went, oh my goodness. And I got up and came out, and AJ came out for a drink and he said to me, oh, you're finally up. And I said, I can't believe I didn't wake up till 10 to 10. You know, well, you must have needed it. And I suppose I did, but I can't believe I slept that long. But I feel 1,000 times better. I think I sound 1,000 times better too. My ears aren't blocked anymore, so that helps. That was the other thing that we did. So I didn't get much shopping done. I didn't get much planning done. I did do the Friday was the cooking video as a trial to see how it would go. We ate the pumpkin soup. It was really good pumpkin soup too. And then the kids, Wayne and the kids had the chicken street taco-y things on Saturday. The cupcakes all vanished. I did put some in the freezer. We've been pulling those out yesterday and today. So that worked really well. So I can do more of those, but it has to be, and this has to be off my meal plan, what we're going to do, because I can't afford, and I hope you'll understand this, I'm pretty sure you will, but I can't afford to just cook something just to show you how to make it. Ingredients give me options, but ingredients also cost money. So it needs to be something that we will eat, that I cook. So if you're happy to watch me cook what I have on our meal plan, then I can do that. If you don't mind the bumbles and the fumbles, because remember, technology and I don't get on, so I have to do the editing. It's a bit hit and miss at the best of times. I'm still learning. I don't know whether my old arthritic fingers, just don't work or what it is, but I have trouble with editing. So if you're happy with that, then I can keep doing them. I'm not guaranteeing that they will always be as long as Fridays was. There won't always be 3 things or 2 things or whatever, but I can do that. I'm happy to do that. We're nearly to the end of the financial year, so I do have a couple of videos scripted and started about that, because things are changing, more changes with working from home means that we have changes to our tax. So I'll be posting those later this week. My goal is one video Monday through Friday. Tuesday will be live. The others will be uploads. Someone's phone's ringing. Can you hear it? That's the goal. I may not always be able to do that, but that's the goal. All right, now I lost some. Krista's been busy. Topped up 7 raised metal beds. Hubby constructed another raised bed from Free Sleepers. Best price free. Almost ready to plant. Just need to add manure and composted straw. Well done. So good. I know winter, we're in the middle of winter here, but I'm already looking ahead to summer, and I am really adding as much compost and worm castings and manure as whatever I can to the resting beds at the moment, simply because I just think summer is going to be hot. I'm looking at the northern hemisphere. Their summer is just bizarre. It was 39 degrees in northern France last week. 39 degrees in northern France. That's sort of unheard of. So I'm thinking our summer might well be very hot. So I'm building up those beds as much as I can, getting as much organic matter into them so that they will stay damp, stay wet. Because I think we're in for a hot summer. I also did add a couple of extra rain barrels too, to collect water. They don't hold much. They're only 100 litres each. They're just little ones, but just on corners to catch runoff for the garden for summer. We do have a grey water system from the washing machine that Wayne hooks up for me to do the we usually put it at the front to do the front grass, because there's not a lot of front grass, and it just looks nicer if it's green. But if necessary, I can move it around the back. So I've been planning ahead and doing that too. Bob Starr's been organising the kitchen. Made pizza dough and pizza for dinner from scratch. Well done. Yeah, look, getting ingredients in big tubs, making sure they're labelled so that you know what they are is really, really, it does make you feel good, but it just makes cooking and baking that much easier. I will say though, I had someone just today, I was reading about it. Someone had beans in mylar bags, then in a tub, in a bucket with the gamma lid on, and mice actually ate through the bottom of the bucket and got into the mylar. They ate through the mylar. Mice will eat anything. Mice, unless it's metal, mice will eat it. So if you're going to keep them outside in a shed or somewhere, keep them up off the ground. So we got free pallets. There's a place not far from us that often puts a sign out, free pallets. And if we need wood for something, that's the first place we look. So Wayne picked up a couple of pallets and put them in the shed for me to put the buckets on. And I made sure that under those buckets, I have those throwdown packs for rats and mice. And I got the outdoor ones because they're outside. Because we don't have mice in the house, I'm pretty sure I've never seen them in my shed, and I've never seen any sign of them in my shed. But that's not to say that now I'm storing things out there, they won't sniff it out. They may well. So yeah, but anyway, sorry, stealing your thunder. Well done on the pizza and pizza dough, and it's a big job to organise the kitchen, so that's really, really good. And Sheena says there's lots of colds and flu-like viruses going around. Yeah, it was really funny because with lockdowns and not being able to go out and not being able to meet with people and whatever, I've actually had 2 healthiest years that I've had in 10 years. So I haven't been to hospital. I haven't been to hospital for 2.5 years. So it surprised me and surprised my doctors. Gail says she made the cupcakes. They were really good. I'm glad they were. They're really nice. Did you just do the plain ones? They're really nice. Just a little bit of vanilla, and they're really, really good. Can you run grey water onto your veggie garden? It is not recommended. It's not recommended if it's going to come in contact with the food. So if you've got root vegetables, so carrots, onions, garlic, beetroot, that sort of thing, parsnips, turnips, swedes, potatoes, that sort of thing, don't do it. Now, if you are growing things that grow up and you can run it along the ground so it's not actually falling onto the plants, it's just soaking into the ground, it is doable. It's still not recommended, but it is doable, and I have done that. I'm not suggesting in any way, shape, or form that you should. I'm just saying I have done that, as long as the water doesn't actually come in contact with the food, and I wash the food as it comes in anyway. So yes, that's how I use grey water on our veggie garden. But usually it's we save it for the little bit of front grass that we have. All right. Thank you, Delaney. Yes, Delaney is our moderator, folks. We should say thank you to her. She's in hospital and she's still helping out. How good is that? Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, happy retirement to both of you, and 10-week road trip. I'm a little jealous. I'm more than a little jealous. I'm absolutely going to turn green in a minute. How neat is that? Well done. That's very exciting. I hope you'll be able to catch us sometimes while you're away. I know it's a bit tricky. But that's really, really good. Hello, Glennis. Evelyn liked the pumpkin soup and the cupcakes. Good. Those cupcakes are so good. They're really easy. That's a recipe that I've been making since I was in high school. So it's a pretty old recipe. And I do adapt it up over time. I've changed things up to it. Yeah. Okay. We had mice. I just lost it. We had mice. Gosh, sorry, guys. Oh dear. Yeah, mice will like compost. They like it because it's a food source and it's warm. Your compost is really warm, especially this time of year. They will just love the compost. They will bury in and make their nests because the inside of your compost, if you ever go out there on a cool day and scrape the top off, you will see it steaming. Yeah, and you really can't do anything much about it. They are in our world, and while we don't like them, I don't like mice at all. Even those cute little field mice, don't like those either. We have to learn to live with them. Maddie, I don't have a subject today. Sorry. Back at the beginning, I explained I was racking my brain trying to figure out what I was going to talk about. So I did the thumbnail earlier in the week or over the weekend, thinking that I would go to my notes and get a topic, and then I just have things went pear-shaped, and it didn't work out like that. Joy, it's the one bowl cake recipe. There's a link on the cooking, underneath the cooking video, straight to the recipe, but it's the 1 cup of self-raising flour, 1 cup of sugar, half a cup of milk, 2 eggs, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, and a splash of vanilla. And I just did it as cupcakes. It's the basic cake recipe. It's really, really good, and really, really easy. Good idea, Yvonne. Look, you know what? Something I'm not good at doing is asking for help. Something I'm not good at doing is paying for help. Not that I can't, I just have this mindset that I should be able to do it. Some things I just can't do anymore. So I struggle and struggle, and then I get cranky, and then I ask for help. I should just remember to ask for help in the beginning, shouldn't I? So you're very wise to get someone to do it for you. Sorry, reading comments again. You're very wise to get someone to do it for you. If that's what you have to do, you have to do it. That's what you have to do. We do the best we can, which is what I posted yesterday. The number 1 rule of cheapskating is ditch the stuff that's not important to you so you have the money to buy the things and enjoy the things that are. That was the biggest, for us, that was the biggest aha moment. When disaster struck, we went from 2 incomes to no income. We had half a house, 2 and a bit kids. It was, interest rates were 18.5%. It was just ridiculous. And we had a social group that cost money. It cost money. It cost a lot of money. Now, we weren't in debt, as in we hadn't run up huge credit card bills or anything like that. But when you go from having money to having no money, and I mean no money, then something has to give. And I've talked about this before, but we looked around and we just sat down and we consciously decided what was important and what wasn't. And the stuff that wasn't important, it went. We just did not do it. Someone would ring up and say, would we like to go to the commercial club for tea? No, thank you. I'd be invited to, one of the kinder mums would be having a clothing party or an educational book party or something. No, thank you. It wasn't important to me. It wasn't important to my family. So we just said no. We just ditched all that unimportant stuff. And what that did was made us really realize, made us understand what we wanted for our family, what we wanted for each other, what we wanted as a couple, but what we wanted for our family. And that was a roof over our heads, food on the table, clothes on our backs, a decent education for our children, and to be able to pay the bills when the bills came in. They were the things that were important to us. So anything else wasn't important. It didn't matter to us. We realized that we were just as happy to ring a couple of friends and say, we're going to be barbecuing on Saturday night. Do you want to come over? Bring your meat over and barbecue at our place. That was a much nicer evening because the kids could run around the backyard and play in the sand pit and climb on the tree and swing on the swing and go into the cubby house. And we just sat out the back and watched them and talked, and it was relaxing, and there was no stress, and we didn't have to queue up to get a table, and there was no big bill at the end of the night. So that was the video yesterday, the number one rule of cheap skating, and I swear by it. I think it is. You ditch the stuff. You decide what's important to you and ditch everything else. If it's not important to you, you don't need it and you don't have to do it. And I will be talking more about that later in the week too. I've got sort of an extension to that. I don't want those little videos to be too long. So decide what's important to you and work on it. And Yvonne has decided it's important to her to get the grass out of the garden, so that's what she's doing. And it will pay off because she can replant. And as now not only are our lettuce $11 each, but now there's 60,000 of them gone up in smoke on the highway in Queensland or something. I didn't see the full story on the news tonight, so I don't know. But there's something about a B double with 60,000 lettuces tipped over or something. Oh, well, there you go. $11, they're now going to be $111 because they'll be even scarcer. All right, Selena's dehydrated mince and vacuum sealed it in packets with dehydrated tomatoes and garlic, all packed for the trip. Perfect. I do a lot of that before we go away. I actually sit down and do a meal plan, a written breakfast, morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, nibblies. If we're on our own, it's not so important. But when we travel in a group, and we often do, we take it in turns doing the nibblies each night. We eat so well when we go away. And so, yeah, I do. I sit down, I actually have a written meal plan. I tape it to the inside of the fridge in the camper so that I know there, and I make sure I tick off everything as I pack it so I know it's all there. Because, yeah, even when we're away, we don't spend a lot of money on food. Occasionally we might buy lunch. Maybe once in a trip we will buy a dinner. Not often though. Maybe once in a trip, and whether it's a 3-week trip or a 6-week trip or a 3-month trip. But I'm really, I like to make sure we have enough of everything and have everything done, because we spend most of our time really remote. So we might maybe once every 7 to 10 days try to get to a caravan park somewhere so that we can have a real shower and scrub everything and get nails clean and stuff and put laundry through a washing machine. But otherwise we bush camp and we are a long way from anywhere. So having meals done is really good. So Sheena's vacuum sealed. She's already got her pasta sauce or a taco sauce or whatever already done. Really good. Any tips on dehydrating garlic? Do it outside. It stinks. Garlic, onions, mushrooms, they stink. Do them outside. I do them on the veranda because they stink. I can't tell you how long it will take. It will really depend on the clothes, how long it takes, and how you want it to finish up. So if you want it to finish up so that you can powder it, crush it and put it on a silicone sheet and dehydrate it like that, because that's easier to powder. If you want it to be flakes, then you will need to chop it, or little granules, chop it, spread it out and do it that way. But the best tip for anything, garlic, onions, mushrooms, anything that's really pungent, outside. Do it outside. There are ways, even on a, this is from Delaney, even on a small scale, to help clean your grey water. Oh, that would be really good, Delaney, if you could. Now, one way, we don't do it here because I don't use the grey water here, but in the past we have sort of filtered it through, I guess you call them reed beds. They were sort of shallow, really shallow pond, little creaky things, and they had stones in them, and then they sort of stepped down and then went into a pond or a little dam. We've done it that way in the past. We don't have enough room to do that here. That was one way of doing it. Woolworths at Churnside had no lettuce. I could believe it. Bushy Park, for Melbourne cheapskaters that are on the east side or the outer east side, Bushy Park in Wantirna South had cucumbers for $2 each. That's the cheapest I've seen them in ages. They had capsicums for $4 a kilo. That's the cheapest I've seen them in months. What else did they have? A whole heap of stuff. Oh, lemons for $2 a kilo. If you don't have a lemon tree, there's a whole lot of things. I go, wow, they weren't bad prices at Bushy Park, and that was at the regular Bushy Park, not the wholesale one. Maddie, we only free camp, honestly. Well, okay, we try to only free camp. We did get a couple of times in New South Wales, because you have to pay to camp in the national parks in New South Wales. So that's not too bad. It was, I think one of them was $5 each, and it was actually really nice. It was really nice and well maintained. Another one we went to was $6, must have been $5.50, because it was $11 to put in the envelope in the honesty box, and it was a real pain because who has change? And it was a disaster, an absolute disaster. I did not enjoy staying there at all. It wasn't even what the campsites weren't maintained. And it wasn't even a particularly nice park, so we won't go back there. But we do enjoy free camping. We try to free camp everywhere and just have that one on longer trips. On shorter trips, we don't bother with the caravan park. But if we're going to be away for more than 3 weeks, that's the limit I can go without washing, doing a proper good solid load to get the dust and what have you out of our clothes, the smoke, smell and the dust and whatever. So if we're away longer than 3 weeks, we do try to get to a caravan park or a laundromat or somewhere to get a washing machine. Right, I've missed something somewhere. Sorry, guys. Maddie, that's no good. Feel better soon. We've got quite a few people on the sick list. So everyone feel better soon. What can I say? To rebuild your energy, dark grape juice. Glass in the morning, just a small glass, 200 mils in the morning, 200 mils at night of dark grape juice, full of iron, full of vitamin C, full of all sorts of really good antioxidants. Dark grape juice will build up your blood, as the old people say. It really helps. It's better than a tonic to help get you back on your feet. Supermarkets sell it, health food shops sell it. Tastes all right too. In fact, it tastes really nice. I used to have trouble keeping the kids from just drinking it. Excellent. Solar panels. We have solar panels. Now, I think I've told you we've got the little solar panels I bought everyone for Christmas that we use to charge our phones and our laptops and things. When we're away, we've got solar panels in the camper. Wayne's got a folding one he puts out, and then another bigger sort of one that's on a stand thing that we put out. We followed the sun. It was really funny. We were at a Devil's Grove, which is the most beautiful, has to be one of the most beautiful places in Australia. And it is so, it's in heading towards the Gulf in Queensland, and it's just stunningly beautiful. It's not that far from Lawn Hill National Park, and the trees, and it's like an oasis in the middle of nowhere. It's stunningly beautiful. And of course, all the campsites are all shaded with these beautiful, beautiful trees. So Wayne spent most of his time moving the solar panels to catch the sun. It was just hilarious because it'd be there for 10 minutes and the sun would move, so the trees would be in shade. It was so funny. One of the funniest things that we've done. Alrighty. Big watermelons changed, Krista. It's not as nice as it used to. Well, okay. It's not as good as it used to be before it was all done up and gussied up and whatever. Dark grape juice, not the light one, the dark one, and it's not Ribena. It is definitely grape juice, so get that. It works really, really well. Full of iron, and because it comes in that form, as in it's not, it's in a food form, it's much more easily absorbed by your body. So yeah. Delaney recommends sorrel. I've not tried sorrel, but that might be an interesting thing I could try. I'm pretty sure I could get seeds if I had to. You meet lots of people in free camps, Maddie. Some of the people we met in free camps have become lifelong friends. So we still stay in touch with them and meet up with them, and yeah. Okay, Yvonne's putting kale. I don't grow kale. They won't eat it. I don't like it. They won't eat it. So I just don't bother growing it. With spinach, lettuce, rocket. I love rocket. Garlic. We have lots of garlic in at the moment. Radishes are really good. Has anyone tried roasting radishes? It was a totally new thing to me to roast a radish. Oh my goodness, they are so good. So pick them, snap the top off, and you can use your radish greens, but give them a bit of a wash, and then they just get rolled in the oil like the other veggies and tossed in the oven. Oh my gosh. They are still radishy, still that peppery, but it's caramelized, or I don't know how to describe it, but they are so good roasted. I just loved it. Knoxfield. Oh, we were neighbours, not far away at all. All right. Oh, I've missed something, I guess. And again. Sorry, this thing keeps jumping up on me and I miss the comments. It's done it again. Silly thing. Anyway, guys, so making some changes. Hopefully they're for the better. I will do more cooking videos. I have a lot coming up. Got them all planned out, scripted out. That takes ages. So that I don't make a complete hash of it. Yeah, all right. Well, I think our hour's up. I'm trying not to keep you too long because it's too cold and everyone's got other stuff to do. So, oh, that's very annoying, isn't it? I'll leave you. Before I go, if you are not already subscribed to our channel, please do. Thank you so much. Sorry, I should start again. I should thank you first for sticking with me right to the end. And if you're not already a subscriber to our channel, click the subscribe button. It's down there underneath me. Then if you click the bell next to it, you can choose how often you want to be notified of new videos or when we go live. Now, that helps YouTube, but more importantly, it helps our channel to be recognized more easily, to be found more easily. And the easier it is for people to find us, the easier it is for us to spread the message that it is not only okay to live life debt-free, cashed up and laughing, but we can still do it even in 2022. Have a great week, everyone, and happy cheapskating. I will be back live next Tuesday. See you then.